All of my beautiful friends around the world, my name is Ryan, aka Blackbeard TCG, and in today's video, I want to nerd over Trafalgar Law. Now, Trafalgar Law is one of my favorite characters in One Piece, and if you guys watched some of my other videos, you guys will obviously know that Blackbeard's my favorite character of all time in the series, hence the name Blackbeard TCG. But you guys also know that I mentioned in terms of starter decks, I'm thinking of probably playing Kid in the beginning. Obviously, Crocodile is one of my favorite characters as well. You know, I love Kizaru, so I'm hoping that he would be in the Marines at some point once we get more Marine cards. But with that being said, Trafalgar Law is one of my favorite characters, and the reason why I'm gushing, the reason why I am so excited is because if you guys know anything about me, when it comes to card games, and when it comes to card games based on anime or like other characters in other forms, I love when the creators of the game try to make the character's fantasy as true to the character is in whatever medium they're originally from. What I mean by that, for example, is Trafalgar Law's OPOP fruit, right? The ability to be able to use room shambles. Now, for Trafalgar Law, the reason why I'm so excited is because of his devil fruit. Now, as you guys know, in the anime, when he first uses it, he's able to swap the Marine's head with the bomb, right? So the fact that he's able to do that, and then it's translated perfectly, picture perfectly into this card, is absolutely amazing. So it reads, if you have 5 characters, return one of your characters to the owner's hand and then play up to one character with a cost of 5 or less of a different color from your hand. So obviously, him being red and green, he has access to both red and green cards, which are pretty good. You know, you can play a little bit more of like an annoying control based style, poke style, and then you can also be a really aggressive style with rush from red. So you have access to some really cool combos that you could do with your room shambles. Now, on top of that, there's 2 other green law cards. You have the one from the starter deck, which allows you to restand one of your Supernovas or Heart Pirates as long as they have a cost of 5 or less. And then you have the blocker law, who's from set 1, who on play, you can return one of your characters to your hand as a cost, and then play one character with a cost of 3 or less from your hand. So he is also having the ability to room shambles. Like, this is so sick because it's literally what his devil fruit would do in the perfect form. Like, for example, if you think of, like, let's take Eustace Kid, right? Like, Eustace Kid is obviously a cool character. Like, he's not one of my favorite characters or anything like that, but he has the ability to restand by trashing a card, whatever. But it's like, does that make sense with Kid, with his Devil Fruit power, with what he does? Like, no, it doesn't really. Like, it's cool, but it's not Kid, right? Now, if you think about what this law card does, this is law. Like, this is perfectly law. Now, the thing that absolutely has me even more excited is the fact that the way that you play law, or at least the way that I've been playing him and have been having a ton of fun, and I think the way that they designed him is you have to play the game. You have to pilot law like how law would fight in the manga, in the anime. And that is by thinking steps ahead. Having the ability to room shambles cards will automatically put your opponent on their toes because they have to be thinking, is this card going to be coming now or is it going to be coming later? Now let's take a look at some of the cards that you have access to. In Green, you have access to cards like Okiku, who is a 3-drop, where you can rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less when you're attacking. This is really cool because obviously you can substitute this out for one of your red cards by using your room shambles on your leader. And after you rest one of your opponent's cards, you could swap that out, bring in a card with rush, like a Zoro, for example, on red, and then swing over that, right? So you have access to plays like that. Then you also have access to cards like Killer, who obviously has a trigger, and Killer isn't the best card, and I've been testing him, and I might actually drop him, but it's still something that works with room shambles. But he has the ability where on play, you can just KO one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 3 or less, which a lot of blockers right now that people are playing are going to be like the 1 cost or 2 cost blockers, right? I mean, I think there are even some 3 cost blockers, but regardless, you're able to just completely pop it as soon as you drop this guy in. Imagine you just room shambles him in with your law character card or with your law leader, right? He just comes in and instantly pops that, and then you could start swinging for game because now they don't have a blocker. Now, of course, there's beefy blockers in the game like Trafalgar Law in our deck. Obviously, there's the one that a lot of Kaido players are going to be playing. Queen, I believe, is pretty beefy at 6k. Who else is really beefy? In the kid deck that people are playing, I believe there's a 7k or 8k blocker. So of course there's going to be beefy blockers. Obviously there's pacifista. Obviously that all those things. So you're not going to be able to pop all those stuff, but you're going to be able to pop a majority of blockers, but then also other cards as well. Let me just get this tablet out of the way. But you're going to be able to pop other cards as well, and that's just one of the plays that you can make with the room shambles. For red, you have a lot of other stuff. You have Otama, who in my opinion is absolutely busted. For 1 drop, you're able to neg your opponent 2,000 power, or if you have it in your hand, it's a 2,000 counter. This card is amazing. And imagine being able to room shambles this, right? This randomly just comes in, oh, minus 2,000. Oh, but then say if you want to substitute it out, you drop your Trafalgar Law. Now you can pick this up and then play it again if you wanted, right? You easily could play it again. You could substitute that out, drop something like your Brook. You can put Rested Dawn onto a character and then be able to pop off that way. Now it has 2,000. You have access to things like Zoro, who's a 3-drop with 5k rush. So this card can just attack right off the bat, which is something that's really cool because he's something that can be brought in with this Trafalgar Law because he's a 3 or less. All of a sudden, boom, you have a rush character that you can just start swinging with, right? On top of that, now where things get super fun and super interesting is the starter deck Luffy, because starter deck Luffy has rush as well as unblockable. So if he has 2 Dawn on him, he becomes unblockable. With Brook, you're able to give 2 Rested Dawns to this Luffy. Now you have an unblockable 8k swinger that has rush. Oh, and guess what? Did you forget? Luffy's a supernova, which means that Trafalgar Law can restand him because he has a cost of 5 or less. So you have a double swinging rush character, right? He can swing twice basically because he has rush. That's unblockable. That at worst is going to be 8k. I mean, that's just awesome, right? You combo that with Otama, so you're able to get over those beefy things like the Kaidos of the world. You're able to get over that tricky kid. Obviously, you know, if they have like counters and stuff like that, you're gonna have to play around that. That's the beauty of this game. But it's the fact that you can make all of these really, really cool, interesting plays, subbing things in and out, always keeping your opponent on their toes, and you having to think steps ahead like the real Law would. I love how Trafalgar Law is based in this game, and I am definitely going to be building and piloting this deck in real life. So stay tuned for my deck list when that time comes. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like Trafalgar Law? Do you like Law in blue decks? Because he can be played in blue because there is a blue Law, because obviously his status with the government. But do you guys also like playing him red-green? Do you guys just like green? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. But again, guys, I am super excited for Trafalgar Law. This game is awesome, man. This game is so damn awesome. I will catch you guys later. Peace. Oh, and my new catchphrase at the end of the video, I don't know. I'm still working on it. I'm still thinking about it. So stay tuned. I'll probably drop it in the next video. Peace.